Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. One more time. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama Rama Hare Hare. 20:03. I'm just setting this up because of getting it online. Is this live also in your place? YouTube? Okay. One more second. Put it right there now. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, chapter, which chapter? 20? 23. Maharaj Prithu is going back home, back to Godhead. Text number 5. Is it correct? Text number 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kandamula Palahara Suska Parnasana Kvachi Abhaksha Katichit Paksha Vayu Bhaksha Stataparam Kandamula Palahara Suska Parnasana Kvachi Avaksha Katichit Paksha Vayu Bhaksha Stataparam. Somebody else. Kandamula Kandamula Palahara Suska Parnasana Kvachi Avaksha Katichit Paksha Mataji. Abhaksha Ayutaksastata param Kandamula palahara Chaparnasana kvachit Vayuvaksastata param Kanda Susaparasana kvachit Abhaksha katichit pakshan Ayubhakshastata param. Translation and purport by our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Kanda, trunk, mula, roots, pala, fruits, ahara, eating, shuska, dry, parna, leaves, ashana, eating, kvachit, sometimes, abhaksha, drinking water, katichit, for several, pakshan, fortnights, vayu, the air, bhaksha, breathing, tata parang, thereafter. Translation. In the Tapovana, Maharaj Prithu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees, and sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves, and for some weeks he drank only water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air. Everyone please repeat. In the Tapovana, Maharaj Prithu sometimes ate the trunks and roots. Ate the trunks and roots of trees. And sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves. And for some weeks, he drank only water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air. This reminds me of Dhruva Maharaj performing tapasya in Vrindavan. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, yogis are advised to go to a secluded place in the forest and live alone in a sanctified spot there. By Prithu Maharaj's behavior, we can understand that when he went to the forest, he did not eat any cooked food sent from the city by some devotees or disciples. No sabji, no chawal, no chapati. As soon as one takes a vow to live in the forest, he must simply eat roots, tree trunks, fruits, dried leaves, or whatever nature provides in that way. Prithu Maharaj strictly adopted these principles for living in the forest, and sometimes he ate nothing but dried leaves and drank nothing but a little water. Sometimes he lived on nothing but air, and sometimes he ate some fruit from the trees. In this way, he lived in the forest and underwent severe austerity, especially in regards to eating. In other words, overeating is not at all recommended for one who wants to progress in spiritual life. Sri Rupa Goswami also warns that too much eating and too much endeavor, atyahara prayasascha, are against the principles by which one can advance in spiritual life. It is also notable that according to Vedic injunction, to live in the forest is to live in the mode of complete goodness, whereas to live in the city is to live in the mode of passion, and to live in a brothel or drinking house is to live in the mode of ignorance. However, to live in a temple is to live in Vaikuntha, which is transcendental to all the modes of material nature. This Krishna consciousness movement affords one the opportunity to live in the temple of the Lord, which is as good as Vaikuntha. Consequently, a Krishna conscious person does not need to go to the forest and artificially try to imitate Maharaj Prithu or the great sages and munis who used to live in the forest. Srila Rupa Goswami, after retiring from his minister's seat in the government, went to Vrindavan and lived beneath a tree like Maharaj Prithu. Since then, many people have gone to Vrindavan to imitate Rupa Goswami's behavior. Instead of advancing in spiritual life, many have fallen into material habits and even in Vrindavan have become victims of illicit sex, gambling, and intoxication. The Krishna consciousness movement has been introduced in countries, but it is not possible for Westerners to go to the forest and practice the severe austerities which were ideally practiced by Prithu Maharaj or Rupa Goswami. However, Westerners or anyone else can follow the footsteps of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur by living in a temple which is transcendental to residence in the forest, and to vow to accept Krishna Prasad and nothing else. Follow the regulative principles and chant 16 rounds daily of the Hare Krishna mantra. In this way, one's spiritual life will never be disturbed. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kandamula palahara shushka parnashana kvachit abhaksha katichit paksham vayu bhakshas tataparam. So, Prithu Maharaj is an ideal king, is an ideal monarch. In those days, during the Vedic times, the citizens are being ruled by Raja Rishis. Raja Rishis means Raja, king, and Rishi means saintly. So Raja Rishi, because the leader or the king is supposed to be meant as representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His is to protect the citizens, make sure that everyone is happy. How can you be happy? By having them or making them be sure that the citizens, according to the role that they play in the society, whether one is a Sudra, Brahmana, Vaishya, and Kshatriya. So everyone is engaged and having Krishna as the main center of their life. This is the main duty of the king. Is that being followed these days? Is there any ideal country or place? Well, we're trying to be here in India. Just why our prime minister is very famous. He tried to rule, but it's very difficult due to diversities of the different citizens, different religions. In those days, there is only one religion, Vaishnavism. That's the main. Of course, there are some atheists also, but now so-called religions is not really religion, it's faith. So King Prithu, he ruled the kingdom, actually the whole planet Earth. He considered Mother Earth as his own child. Yeah? Remember, she's trying to keep everything because of the atrocities of King Vina. She doesn't want to release all the minerals, everything. The fruits, the vegetables, nothing was growing in those days. But King Prithu wanted to be sure that everyone will get nourished, will be supplied by food and everything, natural elements. So King Prithu ruled the planet, the whole planet. It was like an emperor, like Maharaj Parikshit. Parikshit Maharaj, he was an emperor. Or Yudhishthir Maharaj, all the kings paid tax to the emperor. So now his duty was over. That means he wanted to retire. He wanted to give up now his being the main ruler. And definitely, this is the goal of life, that after we have done our duties, that we have to become detached. There are 4 orders in spiritual life. Brahmacharya or Brahmachari, ashram. It's an ashram whereby the student, they go typically at the age of 5 till 25 years old in the school of the spiritual master, Gurukul. They are there to be trained up, to cultivate knowledge, to practice vairagya, detachment at the same time, because the result of knowledge, gaining knowledge about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is that one becomes detached. So now, if the brahmachari at the age of 25 would like to go back to mama and papa, it's allowed, because he will decide that he wants to be in the Grihastha Ashram, householder ashram, householder life. Now, Grihastha Ashram means life of responsibility. One cannot be a Grihastha and not providing food, shelter for his family, especially the father. Again, Krishna as the center of one's family life. Otherwise, one who is in that householder life and just wanted to enjoy, be in the mode of passion and ignorance, and only earn a living for sense enjoyment, then he is not a grihastha. It's not an ashram. What is it? Grihamedi. There's no such thing as Grihamedi ashram. because ashram is order, spiritual order. And then after some time, according to the S.Bhagavatam, according to the Shastra, at the age of 50, because usually married life is from age of 25. Then from age 25 to 50, this is the Grihastha Ashram life. And then 25 or 50 years old, this is the time whereby the husband and the wife will prepare to become detached. This is not retirement, like in a sense that you don't do anything. Huh? When you work outside, up to what is the retirement age? Navneet Prabhu? 60? Okay, you don't know. 59, 60, what? 60. Okay, let's say 60. So there's no confusion. 60 years old, one's supposed to retire. What does that mean by retirement? Don't do anything? Everything stopped because you're tired. I know some, they want to continue on because they don't want to be idle. They don't want to not do anything. They want to keep themselves busy. But that is not the retirement or Vanaprastha Ashram mentions in the Shastra. The husband and wife supposed to now dedicate themselves to become detached. Because during the Grihastha Ashram, there's so many things happen in their life that they become attached to. Number one, family life. If they have children, what to say if they have grandchildren? I know some devotees, they cannot live family life. They're already like in the retirement life, Vanaprastha, because they will say, Maharaj, then who will take care of my grandchildren? Just think about it. So, family life becomes deeper and deeper. But this is not what it says in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Just imagine, age of 50. And where do they go? They go travel. They go travel to the different holy places, pilgrims. They will go Chardam, Yatra. Jai Shri Shri Radha Govinda ki Jai, Shri Shri Panchatattva ki Jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ji ki Jai. Do you have a Shila here from Guru Maharaj? Haribo. Don't have deities? You don't want to have one? Huh? What? You have to apply. You have to apply. It would be nice because Guru Maharaj was here, isn't it? He installed your deities, right? Yes? You have to apply, and if you have enough brahmanas to take care, no problem. Apply to the deity minister department here, ministry, okay? Deity worship. It would be nice to have one. I'm sure they have few more left. So now, what is the duty of the Vanaprastha Ashram? The devotees, they actually, the husband and wife, they travel to holy places. It is not that they stop their activities. what they are planning to do now ultimately is that to purify their consciousness. Now, this is not only for the Vanaprastha. This is for everyone. Hmm? I have a list here. Qualities needed in Vanaprastha. But these qualities has to be developed by everyone, even the brahmacharis, the grihastas. It's better to start early because it's very difficult. Once one becomes attached to material things, to be in illusion, it's very difficult to give it up suddenly, immediately. It takes time because Vanaprastha ultimately will be thinking of the time of death. And we don't know when are all we going to die. We might die tomorrow, or next week, or next month, 1 year from now. But the Vanaprastha stage of life gives them an opportunity to really think that my life may end anytime. Because they are in that age. In Kali Yuga, life is very short. This is one of the symptoms of Kali Yuga. Life is short. One is easily disturbed. It says that in Kali Yuga, as it progresses, when one reaches 35 years old, he is considered to be old. Who lives 100 years these days? Very rare. How about, I know my mother, she lived up to 86 years old. If I live for another 20 years, I hope so we can go more preach, more talk about Krishna. But who knows? Isn't it? We don't know, especially the nowadays, they have very different lifestyle. Who can tell that they can live up to 60 years old? 70 years old? Oh, they're very fortunate. So, few things that I take note here. First thing that we have to qualify or cultivate is vairagya, detachment. Now, it says also that the greatest bondage in this world is family life. To be detached. It's not that you don't care. You care, but not be affected so much so that you don't want to live family life. Now, it says here, Prithu Maharaj went to where? Tapavan. What does it mean by Tapavan? Place, forest, yeah, van. But it says in the Bhagavatam that one should go to Vrindavan. But at the same time, Prabhupada says that temple is not different than the Vaikuntha or Vrindavan. So Grihastas should make their home as Vrindavan. How you can do it? By having a temple. Make your ashram, Grihastha ashram, have deities where you can worship, have a strong sadhana. Yeah? Because this sadhana will put us in the mode of goodness. That's why we do it every day. We go Mangalartik, we chant our rounds. Just to perform this Mangalartik, ultimately will bring us into mode of pure goodness. But we have to be present in the Mangalartik. It's not that we are in the Mangal Arctic, but our mind is going all over the universe. You can be at the temple, but at the same time, physically you can be in the temple, but the mind can be in Mumbai. Or you can be in Mumbai, but if your mind is in Vrindavan, which is better? Mind in Vrindavan. So everything that we do should be done meticulously, that we should be aware what we're doing, because Krishna should be in the center. One should live a very simplified life, simplicity. One should be simple, simple in habits. Don't eat too much. Prabhupada mentions in the purport, right? But we cannot follow and imitate Prithu Maharaj, huh? Only eating what? Dried fruits. It's like in Dhruva Maharaj's story, Prabhupada says that the fruits, the dried fruits that found in the forest that Dhruva Maharaj ate, even the monkeys will not eat. Sometimes in Vrindavan, because we have some leftover prasad, we give them, they will smell first. If they don't like it, they will not eat them. So this is very austere. So now, which forest do we have to do? Do we have to go? Because we're living in the city. Prabhupada says living in the city means what? Passion and ignorance. Right? So that means, because in the forest, it's mode of goodness. Living in Delhi, can you find peace? No. But there is peaceful place where you can go. Inside. Internally. Here also, mandir. Mandir means the mind is dhira, sober, peaceful. So whenever we come to the temple, as much as you can, so make your place of residence also like mandir. There should be a sacred place where the deities are being worshipped. Offer puja, offer bhoga, prasadam, everything should be the center of one's life is Krishna. We should be serious in our sadhana. Now, this is not just for the Vanaprastha, because in the Grihastha ashram is very complicated. It's too many responsibilities. Oh, I will use the word entanglement. It's too entangling. You have to find a job. You have to have your children go to school. And then after some time, you have to have your children get married. Isn't it? It's a big responsibility. You cannot just say, okay, I'll go to Tapavan or I'll go to Vrindavan. I'll leave you behind. You figure it out what to do. But Prabhupada says also in the purport that sometimes, because it's immature going to the forest. So you may be going to the forest, you may be going to the holy place to reside. But Prabhupada, in one of the purports, he says, because if you go to Vrindavan, because Vrindavan means place of retirement, bhajan, austerity. So some, they go and thinking that just by going, they will become detached. But at the same time, they are in Vrindavan, but they're still keeping family. They'll keep thinking of their family, and they will call their family 4 or 5 times every day. And they will keep their bank account because they feel insecure. They think that they don't really fully depend on Krishna. They think that, oh, what will happen to me if I get sick? Of course. But there is a formula, Rupa Goswami says, right? When you retire, what did he say? 50% to spreading Krishna consciousness, 25% to your family, and 25% for you just in case of emergency. Nothing more. It's going to be very difficult to follow because of being attached to the family. Some of them, they have big business also still going on, but they want to be detached. But prematurely, they will go to the forest or they will go to Vrindavan, but still they will be managing their business. For whom? For their family. So that is not really Vanaprastha Ashram. Yes, seriousness in sadhana. We have to be serious. As Guru Maharaj says, we have to be strict. Have a strict sadhana, strong sadhana. Another one, number 4, Indramya Samyama, control of the senses. Now, this is not just for the Vanaprastha also, because the husband and wife will travel, go to different holy places. Just the wife will be there to assist the husband. So there's a certain time also when the husband will take sannyas. With which age? 75. Yes. So what happens to the wife? Actually, by that time, the children are already grown up, and they may take care of the mother, or the wife also will become renounced. But they don't take sannyas. It's like in Radhakund. In Radhakund, if you go and if you observe 75% of the population, they are Matajis. Maybe more. And they're all wearing white. Correct? You notice that? Yeah, I noticed it. There are more women than men in Radhakund. Controlling the senses. We have to control the senses right from the very beginning of our spiritual path, going back home, back to Godhead. The first thing that we need to control is the mind. Without controlling the mind, the senses cannot be controlled. Right? And how you control the mind? By sharpening the intelligence with knowledge. That's why Krishna told to Arjuna, armed with the sword of knowledge, cut your attachment. And how can you do this? Because it's very difficult to control the mind. As Arjuna saying also, yes, it's more difficult to control than the raging wind. Through constant practice and detachment. Humility should be there also. Yes. Number one quality that we need to, right also from the very beginning of our life in Krishna consciousness, is to develop humility and obedience. As students, as disciples of our Guru Maharaj, because those who committed themselves, took initiation, without humility there is no surrender. Without surrender, there is no love for Krishna. And everyone, readiness for death. Oh, qualities needed. There's one quality that is needed in Vanaprastha. We already mentioned that. One should be ready to die any moment. Are we ready to die any moment? Huh? Me? No. Not yet. My consciousness still has to be purified more and more and more to be Krishna conscious. No. Unless one is sure that his consciousness is completely purified. I know there's one devotee in Vrindavan. It was birthday of his wife. She turned 80 years old just recently. So Prabhuji, they're from India, but their kids are in America. They live in America for a long time, but then they decided we retire now. We live in Vrindavan, and they've been in Vrindavan for many years. So he asked me, Maharaj, can you please pray for me? What? That I will leave this body as soon as possible. He says, why? Well, this body is just full of miseries, full of sufferings. I says, why should I pray that you die soon? I will pray that you live longer so that we can have your association. I says, no, no, Maharaj. It's okay. I don't mind. I can die anytime, any moment. That means he's in good consciousness, isn't it? Huh? Like Parikshit Maharaj, he was ready to die. Huh? The bird, the snake bird, isn't it? He's ready. Any moment he's ready to be beaten. Huh? So, are we ready to die? Any moment? Raise your hand. Not me. No, I don't think so. No, I still have a lot of things to do to purify my consciousness. So ultimately, what we really need to cultivate, what we need, the quality, number one, is to have the taste for hearing and chanting. Taste for chanting the holy name. I asked one God sister because she was always so meditation on the deities of Radha Shama Sundar, and I can see that she was praying so intense. So I asked Mataji, what are you praying? She said, I'm praying to have taste for chanting the holy name of the Lord. If we pray like that, so intense, everything will be taken care of. There's nothing else to be desired of. We should have praying also to have taste for reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Hearing means reading, because these are transcendental sound vibration. The conversation between Parikshit Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami, Maitreya, Vidhura, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Narad Muni, these are all transcendental sound vibration. So in this way, we can prepare ourselves. It's like Prithu Maharaj. He's a Satyavesa avatar. That means he's an empowered incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He's not in the same category as Matsya, Kurma, Vishnu Tattva. He is in the Jiva Tattva, but he is empowered. Sakya, Avesh. Sakya, Avesh. It's like Srila Prabhupada. He's not an ordinary person. But he showed us how, even in a simple way, everyone can be qualified to go back home, back to Godhead. And the same with Prithu Maharaj. He's in that category of Uttama, Mahabhagavat. But still, he has to go through this. He doesn't have to, because he's already Krishna conscious, but to show an example that ultimately the way to go back home, back to Godhead, is becoming detached, especially with the family, because this is the greatest bondage in this world. For you Grihastas, I'm sure you have that experience, that attachment can be transferred to Krishna consciousness. The Grihasta in the mood of being possessive. In the family, we all get together, we come together because due to our previous karma, we have to suffer or enjoy the fruits of our activities that we experienced in the past. So we just have to keep it in mind that my family doesn't belong to me. My family is there for me to take care of them. So if this is the consciousness, then very easily we can have Krishna as a center of all of our activities. Everything that we do, Krishna is the center. Then it'll be easier for us to become detached and ultimately be prepared to go back home, back to Godhead. Otherwise, it is very difficult. No one else in this world is teaching this except our movement. Of course, others may be teaching, but they don't emphasize on this. Am I correct? Huh? Others may be teaching this, but no. Some of them, they teach immediately Rasa Lila. How can you come to that platform if your consciousness is still contaminated? Yeah? They will only talk about Krishna Lila, but they will not talk about this facts of life. This is why sometimes they will say, hey, you Hare Krishnas, why are you always talking about death? But that is truth. Can you talk of something else? I wanna hear, Radha Krishna Lila or the gopis or. But if we cannot understand this very basic knowledge, then how we can go higher? So Prithu Maharaj is showing us an example somehow that everyone should follow, but no, you don't have to go to the forest. In the forest, you have to go to the Himalayas. Do we have to go to the Himalayas? Guru Maharaj didn't tell all of his disciples, everyone goes to Vrindavan. Did he say, did he tell that? Did he tell you that? No, Vrindavan is so close, isn't it? 2 hours away from here. It's easy to migrate over there. But wherever you are, it is Vrindavan. Vrindavan is in the heart. Here you have Radha Govinda. That means Vrindavan is here. Yeah? The main thing is that because the more we preach, the more we tell others about Krishna, then the more we get closer to Krishna. It is not that because one is in Vrindavan, physically, he is in Vrindavan. So now, what we're doing in the cities, it may be, yes, oh, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was asked, why you have temples in the cities? We could have just stay in Vrindavan. We could have just stayed under a tree every night, like the Goswamis. No, we go, see, people will not go there in Vrindavan. How many people, what is the population of Delhi? Any estimate? 25 million? 30 million? NCR? Quite a lot. But how many percentage go to Vrindavan? 1%? Less than 1%. Isn't it? So they will not go there. So that's why we come here. This is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's reply. It's like Prabhupada says, we can live under a tree, but you will not come. So these temples are embassies. These are like embassies. There's no difference. Like you go to Chanakyapuri, yeah? All the embassies of the different countries all over the world. And if you enter in one of those embassies, you're not in Delhi anymore. You're not in India anymore. You are inside their country. You go to US embassy, you are inside US territory. So similarly, these temples are like none different, not like, it is none different than Vaikuntha or Vrindavan. So let us make this as much as possible be realized by everyone who comes here and understand this knowledge, understand the main purpose of human form of life. Make their life also successful, especially when we give them the holy name of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada's books, and give them samtus prasadam, that they will forget their old habits. So in conclusion, in the Tapovan, Maharaj Prithu sometimes ate the trunks and roots of trees, and sometimes he ate fruit and dried leaves, and for some weeks he drank only water. Finally, he lived simply by breathing air. Again, we cannot imitate Prithu Maharaj. But if we're going to eat, only eat Krishna Prasad. Don't eat in any vegetarian dabas outside. There's so many, organic food, famous vegetarian restaurant. No. This is austerity, only eating Krishna Prasad. Only chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Don't hear any Bollywood music, sound vibration that will contaminate our consciousness. So I will stop here. Very interesting chapter. Maharaj Prithu going back to Godhead, going back home. Is there any points, any questions, any reflections? I'm going to give like a few days of seminar about Vanaprastha Ashram, but we just kind of like concisely give it. Oh, you have a question? Okay. Ladies first. Haribo. Haribo. Ladies first.
Hare Krishna, please let one who listens to your feet. I have a question of definition of humility because a lot of people change the meaning of humility based on their desires.
What is your meaning of humility?
Humility.
Or what is your meaning?
I don't have
You don't
any
know?
concept of any meanings.
Humility means accepting that I don't have qualification. Somehow or other, due to the fortune that I received from Srila Prabhupada, I would try my best to come up to the expectation that he wanted me to be a devotee, to understand that I'm a servant and a servant of the Supreme Lord. One can be in a high position, but also humble, because he doesn't consider himself as the everything. He will also have like a advisors. It's like he can choose his advisors. Like again, I'm giving an ideal king. They have advisors. They didn't say, "Oh, I know what I'm doing. No one should tell me what to do." No, he follows the law of the scriptures. So being humble doesn't mean you sit in the corner and just be like this. No, being humble, you come forward also and tell us something which is beneficial for everyone. If there is an opportunity for one to say for the benefit of everyone and no one is saying, being humble means you come forward and tell us what it is. That is humble. Being humble doesn't mean that, oh, yes, I will always, it doesn't matter how much advanced I am to be in Krishna consciousness, I will always look upon someone who can still guide me and give me direction, inspire me. Like the six Goswamis, they are the topmost devotees, but they have leader also. Who is the leader? Huh? Sanatan. Sanatan Goswami. Yes? They have a leader. So being humble means I don't need my own, whatever I have. No, I should disregard it and accept from someone who knows better than me. That is being humble. It's like Prabhupada says, oh, he has a letter or a conversation or a class. He says that we should be always in front of our spiritual master to be like full number one, not number two. Full number one. Even though you know something which is more than the spiritual master, you should always accept that you are defeated. That you will be defeated or you can be defeated, or you accept that I'm defeated by my Guru Maharaj. You cannot show to Guru Maharaj that I defeated you. That is not humble. Huh? It's like His Holiness Bhakti Sarup Damodar Maharaj. He's a scientist. He knows so much. But in front of Prabhupada, he's very humble. He always submit to Prabhupada. Yes, being humble means I will do anything and everything that is needed for. Sometimes I've seen devotees, they only like kirtan. They will not do any other seva. He asked him, Prabhuji, can you help us in the kitchen? We need some help. I only do kirtan. Have you seen a devotee like that? But he's supposed to be humble. Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahisnuna amanena manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One should be lower than the blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, be ready to offer respect to everyone, and not expecting any respect towards oneself. In such a humble state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. We cannot chant the holy name of the Lord without being humble. Purely. One can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra without being humble, but he is not chanting purely. He is chanting with pride. I am the best singer. I know so many melodies. No one knows, and no one can follow. Therefore, I am the best. No, that's not humble. Children, they should always follow what the parent says, unless it is against the principles of Dharma. Nowadays, the children will answer back to the parents, and they will call their parents their first name. Huh? In America, it's like that. Children, they call their parents their first name. Have you seen that in India? No. The children will always touch the feet of the elderlies. That is humility, but they should also follow their instructions, not just touching the feet and then I don't follow your instruction. That's not humble. Being humble means follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and the spiritual master to be our life and soul. It's not that we say, oh, yes, but, okay, I will follow, but. Once you say but, that means you have what? Condition. Should be unconditional. That is humble. That is humility. Okay.
हरे कृष्ण महाराज।
Hare Ram.
बहुत सुंदर लेक्चर था। तो महाराज आपने बताया कि जैसे पिट्टू महाराज से सूखे पर मुझे लगा जैसे कि बॉडी की जरूरत से बहुत कम है ना, तो वो अपने आप को जानबूझ के इतना कष्ट में डाल देते। तो एक डिवोटी के एक जैसे एज ए डिवोटी हमें मतलब कितना खाना चाहिए, और दूसरा है कि हमें प्रसादम के प्रति अपना एंजॉयिंग मेंटालिटी को छोड़ के सर्विंग मेंटालिटी को कैसे बढ़ाना।
Thank you very much. This question is first comment is thank you much for a very nice lecture. And this question is that Prithu Maharaj, he was eating like only dried leaves and things like that. So which means he was kind of eating much less than his body actually needed. So it is kind of over austerity of a body. So how
Over
austerity of a body. So how to understand this? And second is how to inculcate the mood of when we eat prasad, how to honor prasad not with bhoga mentality, but as a service mentality.
Yes. See, the austerity of great personalities we cannot imitate. They're only eating to keep the body and soul together. It's like the 6 Goswamis, they will only take few grams of buttermilk, chats. Why? Because they're absorbed in Krishna. They're absorbed in Radha Krishna pastimes. Sleeping, the more you advance in Krishna consciousness, you will sleep less. But Guru Maharaj says 6 hours. So that you can, actually sleep is rest. We don't call it sleep. Now I'm going to take rest. Yeah, did we call it that? I'm going to sleep? No. We call it, I'm going to take rest. Why? Because sleeping or resting is also bhakti. You're preparing yourself. So the Goswamis, they will only sleep for 2-3 hours every day. And sometimes they don't sleep all the time. Many ways how we can do that. We can remember the pastimes of the Lord. We can remember our yatra in Vrindavan. We can remember the Bhagavad Gita, yes, the instructions from the Bhagavad Gita. We can remember our Guru Maharaj. Even if you go to work, how can you remember Krishna? You're doing things that has nothing. No, you can. If you can hear Prabhupada's lectures or Prabhupada's bhajan, you remember Krishna. So you may eat and sleep less, but you are Krishna conscious. So now, how to avoid that mentality? Of enjoying, the propensity to enjoy, especially sometimes they will cook what they want to eat. But if you're sick, you have a certain diet, you have to eat what you need to eat. But then if there's a big feast, you have to control your senses. So like we're known for cooking only in ghee, milk and milk products. And number one, misti, sweets. Oh, you have to be careful. Like in Vrindavan, we only use in our devotee kitchen, khand. We don't use refined white sugar. Number one to avoid actually is sugar. Cancer feeds on sugar. Number one food to avoid when you are sick, sugar. But how can you avoid gulab jamun, rasmalai, rasgulla, jalebi? No, you can just little, no problem. And what is the use? What is good if you eat too much and then you sleep for the whole day? Because your belly is so heavy, or at night time you eat. Try to avoid eating at night. Some of our devotees, they don't eat at night. Who eats at night here? Raise your hand. Don't be shy. So eat little only, so that the next day you can get up easily, so that you don't have a brain fog while you're chanting. If you eat too much at night, the result the next day, your sadhana will not be the best. Yeah? And also, if you eat too much, you'll be dreaming. Maybe not very pleasant dreams also. Yeah? So, a yogi, says in the Bhagavad Gita, doesn't eat too little or eat too much, sleep too much or sleep too little, work too hard or work too little. He's a yogi, it's balance. So yes, if we cannot control our tongue, it's very difficult to control the belly and the genital. First sloka of the Shi, what's that? Upeda Samrita. Yes, they're all in a straight line, isn't it? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says. But don't worry, you're still young. You can eat as much as you like. Once you reach 40 years old, you have to be careful. Prabhupada says, you should work like a horse if you eat a lot. And the prasadam is so good, you can eat and eat and eat, and after the prasadam, you will walk like a duck. How to control our senses? Only eat Krishna prasad. Yeah? You know your limits. Your limit is not the same as mine. It's not the same as Jai Keshava Prabhu. I know how he eats. Tora tora. Little little. Okay? Anything else from that side? Mataji? Any question from that side? Any other points? Don't imitate Prithu Maharaj, okay? But we can follow in his footsteps. Any question? More? No more? Gopeshwar Prabhu? Bahut dhanyavad. Hari Om Tat Sat. Srila Prabhupada ke.
His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj Ji.